Okay, so just come down onto your mat, get yourself comfortable and laying flat on your back. Let your legs splay out to the sides, shoulders roll, tucked under your back so that you open your chest toward the ceiling. And just settle in there. As we get started, I want to remind everyone that these things that I'm saying today are just suggestions. This is your class. So do what feels right for your body today. If you took a very long walk on the beach and you're tired, then go at your own pace. So you know your body best. All right, so just settle into your mat. Take a big breath in through your nose and then sigh it out your mouth. Let it go. Now take a big breath in. And then when you get that breath in, hold your breath. Hold it until you feel like it's time to let it go. And then sigh it out. Let's try that again. Take a big breath in. Hold it. And then let it go. Feel your body responding to your deep breath by letting go of tension. Now begin a scan of your body and root out any muscles that are holding tension. Let all that tension go. Now bring your attention inward. Notice any thoughts, emotions, or to-dos that are competing for your attention. Gently allow those thoughts to float out of your mind without giving them any traction. Take the next few moments to feel God's presence in this space. There are certain things that seem to be a given in this world. The sun will rise and set every day. What goes up must come down. Seasons come and seasons go. All laws of nature. They're so predictable that we take them for granted. But if we stop and think about it, it really is quite amazing. God's creation. The words amazed and amazing are used in the Bible hundreds of times. The work that God does in our lives is nothing short of amazing, time and time again. And when someone is that dependable and that consistent, we call it trustworthy. So tonight we're going to look at a few of the events in the Bible which were amazing. And then hopefully we'll look at our own lives to see his awesome work. We're continuing our journey to strengthen our trust. Now bring your hands onto your belly and just begin to deepen your breath. Slow it down, extend inhalations and exhalations. Breathing slowly. Feel the belly rise and fall. And on your next inhale, fill up completely, and then hold that breath for a few counts. And when you're ready, exhale completely. And as you get to the end of that breath, hold empty. And when you need to breathe, go ahead and keep breathing in this way, in this square breath, trying to equalize inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Now let go of guiding your breath and return to your normal rhythm of breathing. One of the most awe-inspiring things in the Bible happens in Genesis 1:3. God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. He spoke everything into existence. All right, so let your arms extend up over your head and then walk your feet over toward the right side of your mat. Then taking your arms, walk them over toward the right side of your mat. Taking on a banana shape here. I want to take your left hand and grab it with your right wrist. Grab it, take your right hand and grab your left wrist just to pull a little bit more toward the right. And then take your left ankle and cross it over your right foot. And breathe into that side body. And on your next exhale, let's uncross your legs, let go of your arms, and move your legs and your arms to the other side, to the left side of your mat. Grabbing your right wrist with your left hand, crossing over your left leg with your right. And take 3 big breaths here. Breathing in, breathing out. And after your third breath, let go of your arms and walk back toward the center, bringing knees in toward your chest. Maybe just rocking side to side. Taking one knee in each hand, begin just to row your legs, doing some hip circles here. One direction, and then switch it, go the other direction. Come and see what God has done, his awesome deeds for mankind. He turned the sea into dry land. They passed through the waters on foot. Come, let us rejoice in him. Now bringing your knees to stillness, take your feet to the floor, plant your feet right next to your hips as we prepare to do a bridge flow. So with your feet close to your hips, your hands on the mat, right next to your hips. On your next inhale, we're going to begin to lift your hips and then lift your arms up to 12 o'clock. And then as you exhale, you're going to take your arms up all the way overhead and take your hips down. So inhale your arms up overhead now as you lift your hips. And then exhale, hips and arms down. Inhaling your arms up toward the ceiling. Exhaling your arms up overhead as your hips come down. And continue moving in this way for the next few rounds. Opening your chest toward the ceiling. Lifting those hips. Just feeling the difference when your arms are going opposite of your legs. And after the next round, bring both hands and feet and hips to the floor. And then bring knees in toward chest, rocking side to side. Just see how that feels. Now bringing feet back to the floor. Take an inhale and then arch your back away from the mat. And then on your exhale, flatten your spine against the mat. So we're just doing pelvis tilts here. Inhaling to arch your back, exhaling to flatten. Moving slowly with your breath. Feeling your belly button pull toward your spine as you're exhaling. And then come back to a neutral spine. Take your hands and bring them underneath your hips here on the floor. And take your legs long. And then bring one leg up toward the ceiling. And then exhale down. The other leg up toward the ceiling. And exhale down. Inhaling right up. And down. Inhaling left up and down. Let's do two more each side. So there's one, two, and then go ahead and bring your feet to the floor. Lift your hips to take your hands out. Bring your knees in toward your chest. And let's roll front to back on your spine, coming up to a seat. Give yourself a little spinal massage as you come all the way up to a seat. All right. So coming to a comfortable seat, you can sit on a prop if you want. We won't be here very long. Just bring your fingertips to touch right in front of your belly. Crown of your head is reaching toward the ceiling. Spine is lengthened here. And then we're just going to use our fingers here as we breathe. So breathing in, imagine you're filling up that ball. And then exhale, fingers come to touch and palms touch. Inhaling, open your fingers away from each other. Exhaling, come back to center and palms touch. Breathing in and out your nose. Big breath in. Big breath out. Last breath in. Last breath out. And then let's bring your arms out to the sides. Reach your fingers toward each wall on the side of you. Begin to do some wide circles here. You can go backward or forward, either way. We're going to do both. So starting big circles. God always provides for his people. He sent manna down from heaven for the Israelites to give them food to eat in the desert. Let's turn your hands and go the other direction. Later, Jesus miraculously turned 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish into a meal for thousands of people. And then bring your arms to stillness. Let's take your fingers to the sides and root down through the mat. Let your eyes close here. And just imagine God providing food, providing passage for the Israelites. Taking the 5 loaves and 2 fish and looking up to heaven, he gave thanks and broke the loaves. They all ate and were satisfied. The number of those who ate was about 5,000 men. Wow. And then slowly we're going to move ourselves over into a table. So coming onto hands and knees. And if this bothers your wrists, you can either put something under your hands so that they're a little propped up, or I like to come onto my fists. So whatever works for you. But knees are directly under your hips. And we're going to start into some cat-cow movements. So inhaling as your belly button drops, head lifts, tailbone lifts, and exhaling round your spine toward the ceiling, belly button pulls toward your spine. Inhaling, let your belly drop, and then exhaling round. And let's just keep going for the next few rounds of breath. And after your next round, let's come back to neutral spine. Good. And then let's allow your right arm to come out next to your ear. And then take your left foot back onto your toes, back behind you. And then lift the leg off the floor, coming into a balance. And while you're in this balance, you can keep doing the cat-cow movements if you'd like. So you can lift arm and leg, and then lower arm and leg, just slightly. Or you can just leave it neutral. You can just stay in the static position. Breathing in, breathing out. And then let's bring it right arm down and left knee down. And then we're going to reach right arm out again. This time we're going to reach right leg out. So you might want to bring your left hand into the center. Reach that left leg long behind you onto the flat of your foot. And then open your chest, coming into a supported side plank here. Breathing in and breathing out. Really pressing down on the side of that right foot here. And then on your next exhale, bring it back down to center. And let's do the other side. So this time, we're going to take left arm out in front and right leg. And come onto your toes first, and then lift your right leg up. Jesus performed many other miracles, from walking on water to controlling the weather, to healing the sick and raising the dead. The people were constantly amazed. And here you can lift and lower your arm and leg if you want. And then bring your left hand down and your right knee. Move your right hand toward the center a little more as we lift the left hand again and the left toes come behind you. And then open your chest, coming into that side plank on the other side. The men were amazed and asked, "What kind of man is this? Even the winds and the sea obey him." Amazing. On your next exhale, we're going to bring ourselves back down to table. And then staying on your knees, walk your hands back as you come to your knees. So sitting up on your knees, take your hands to the small of your back here and really reach your ribs up and your hip bones down so that you're making space there. And then we're just going to open your chest and begin to lean back a little bit for a little back bend here in camel pose. Breathing in, breathing out. And on your next exhale, begin to come back towards center. And then take your hands down to the mat, walk them away from you, coming into puppy. So keeping hips over knees and reaching forward, bringing chest toward the floor, coming into that puppy pose. Even breaths here. With the stretch in your shoulders. And on your next exhale, begin to walk your hands underneath you, coming into table. And then take your right hand up toward the sky, reaching upward. And then as you exhale, you're going to thread that hand through the other side and come down onto your shoulder and side of your head for thread the needle. Your left fingers can be up on spider fingers if that works for you here. And then when you're ready, push into that left hand as you lift your right arm all the way up toward the ceiling again and bring it back down to the mat. Good. Okay, now let's switch sides. So bringing that left arm up toward the ceiling. Big inhale, and as you exhale, we're going to come down onto the left shoulder. Right fingers content here. And as you are twisted here, see how deep you can make your breaths. When you're ready, bring your hand back to the mat. Push into your right hand and lift that left arm up toward the ceiling and exhale it down onto the floor. Now take your knees wide, toes touching the back as we sink our hips back, coming into child's pose. Forehead comes to the floor. Arms can be in front of you or behind, your shoulders over your knees. Pick your most comfortable version of child's pose. They were all amazed, so that they debated among themselves, saying, "What is this? A new teaching with authority. He commands even the unclean spirits, and they obey him." Mark 1:27. Think of a time where you were amazed with God for whatever reason. Maybe it was seeing nature. Maybe it was a quote coincidence that happened. Keep that in your mind. When you're ready, we're going to come forward toward table. Bring your knees back to parallel and tuck your toes here. We're going to sit back on your toes and use your hands to help yourself up to a squat. We're going to be in actually toe stand. So you're on your toes and you can use hands to help. You can put blocks down. Just stretch your feet out here. Take a big breath in, big breath out. And begin to bring your heels down toward the mat as you lift your hips, coming to a forward fold here. Shake your head no here. Let it be loose. Shake your head yes. And then slowly begin to roll up one vertebra at a time. Coming all the way up to standing. Head is the last thing to come all the way up. All right. Let's just come into mountain pose. So keeping feet directly under hips here. Opening your palms toward the front, rolling shoulder blades down your back. Just let your eyes close. And just notice. Notice what's there for you right now. Just being able to watch Jesus in action would have been life-changing. He was the Word made flesh, God in human form, the only one who never sinned. Truly awe-inspiring. Now let your eyes blink open and step toward the wide side of your mat. Take your feet parallel to each other. Bring hands to hips here. Take a breath in, and then on your exhale, we're going to begin to fold forward. Now you can bend your knees as much as you need here. Get yourself forward. And then you can use a block if needed. You can put a block right in between your legs to reach your hands to. Or if you can reach the floor, that's good too. And then on your next exhale, we're going to reach your right arm up toward the ceiling, coming into a twist. And then bringing that right arm down, let's reach the left arm up. And bringing that down, let's do one more on the right side. Exhaling down, one more on the left side. And coming all the way down. All right, now take a big breath in, take your arms out to the sides, bending your knees slightly, coming all the way up to standing. And bring your hands down in front of your heart. All right, now let's turn your toes toward the front of your mat. Turn your right toes toward the front of your mat, and your left toes are toward the long end of your mat. So we're coming into warrior two here. Bending into that front knee, taking your arms out, one in front, one in back, coming into warrior two. Tracking your right knee toward your pinky toe here. Isometrically pulling your feet toward each other, engaging those leg muscles. And breathing. And feel that strength. All right. Now take your back hand down on your back thigh, lifting your right hand toward the ceiling as we come into peaceful warrior. Keeping that front knee bent. Breathing in and breathing out. And then come back into warrior two. Bending that right arm and bringing your elbow down onto your right thigh. And top hand comes over your ear, coming into side angle pose. Feel a stretch on your side body here. Breathing in and breathing out. Okay, now looking toward the floor, turn to pivot and lift your back foot as you come onto your toes and come into a low lunge, placing your knee on the floor, maybe bumping it back a little to give you a bigger stretch in the front of your thigh. And then when you're ready, try and sit up, bring your torso upright, and then bring your arms up overhead. Breathing in and breathing out. And then bring your hands down in front of your heart, coming into those spider fingers again, like you have a ball in front of you. Good. And then we're going to slowly rotate to one side, keeping the balance. Keep breathing. And then on your exhale, come back to center, and then we'll twist toward the other side. One of the most memorable events that is central to our Christian beliefs is that after Jesus was crucified by men, he came back to life. Come back to center. All right, now bring your hands down toward the floor. Jesus rose from the dead, fulfilling the ancient prophecies. All right, so untuck those back toes and lift that back knee up, and then bring your right leg back to meet your left, coming into our downward dog, upside down V. And you can bend one knee and then the other. And maybe you just come to stillness. See how this pose feels for you today. When you're ready, walk your hands back toward your feet. And then come to a halfway lift, lifting hands onto shins, flat back, belly button is pulling toward your spine, lower ribs are tucked in. Then exhale to fold. And inhale your arms out all the way up overhead, coming to stand. And exhaling hands down in front of your heart. Take a breath in here. Big breath out. And then let's step toward the side of your mat again. So coming toward that long end of your mat. Take a big breath in, reach up, and then exhale as you fold forward. This time, we're going to take your left hand to your right foot and reach your right arm up. For a little bit bigger twist. Big breath in, big breath out. And on your exhale, let's unwind and come to the other side. So right hand goes to the left foot, left arm goes toward the ceiling. reaching up toward the ceiling. And then back to center. And when you're ready, we're going to walk your hands over toward the left, spinning your left foot toward the back of your mat, bisecting your right foot, and rise all the way up to warrior two. Good. All right, so strong warrior here. Roll your palms up toward the ceiling. Feel your engagement of your shoulder blades on your back, and then just flip your palms back. That's how you can feel your shoulder blades on your back. That's one way too. Breathing in, breathing out. When you're ready, take your right arm down your back leg, lift your left arm, reaching upward. Trying to keep your ribs away from hips here, belly button to spine. Big breath in. Big breath out. And then come back toward warrior two. Bend that front elbow as you reach over your right arm over your ear. And bringing that hand toward your knee, on your knee, I mean. And breathe. Feel the connection of that back foot on the mat. Notice the stretch in the right side body. When you're ready, turn toward the mat and then reach your hands down, lifting that back foot and maybe moving the toes back to come down onto your knee into low lunge. Inhaling as you come up, bring your arms up overhead, pinkies go toward each other here. Good, breathing in, big breath out. Now bring your palms to touch overhead and then bring them down in front of your heart. And then let's create that ball shape in front of you. And on your next exhale, we're going to begin to turn toward the side. Feeling that shake. And then when you're ready, come back towards center and let's turn toward the other side. The angel said to the women, "Do not be afraid, for I know that you are looking for Jesus who was crucified. He's not here, he has risen, just as he said. Come and see the place where he lay." And come back to center here. Stick your hands to the floor. Untuck those back toes. Lift your foot off the floor, or your knee off the floor. And then left leg comes back. You come to downward facing dog again. And this time, maybe you take your heels to touch in your down dog. See how that feels. Rise up on your toes. And now maybe you turn your toes to touch. See how that feels. Rise up on the toes. Lengthen your spine here. Come back to center. Now look between your hands. Let's step toward the back of your mat. And then roll all the way up to standing. Breathing in all the way up. Hands come down in front of your heart. So now you're facing the back of your mat here. Let your eyes close. Notice your heartbeat. And when you're ready, we're going to begin to bend your knees and sink back as if sitting in a chair. You can keep your hands at your heart here, coming into chair pose. Or you can take your arms up on either side of your ears. So you're looking like this. Maybe you sink a little bit further down in that chair. Make sure you can see your toes though, your big toes. Breathing in, breathing out. And when you're ready, straighten your legs, come back up to standing. Let's shake it out. All right, we're gonna do that one more time. Okay, so feet are right under your hips. Begin to bend into your knees, sitting hips back. And this time, keep your hands in front of your heart. When you're ready, I'm going to take that right elbow and twist, trying to place it to the outside of the the left elbow to the right knee. So you can do the other way first. Breathing in, breathing through the shaking. When you're ready, come back through center, straighten your legs. Let's do the other side. One more chair pose, I promise. So coming back down, maybe sitting a little lower this time. Then on your exhale, begin to twist to the other side. Trying to keep your knees equal to each other. Both, neither one is further forward. When you're ready, come back to center and stand up. Let's just shake it out. Peter, however, got up and ran to the tomb. When he stooped to look in, he saw only the linen cloths. So he went home, amazed at what had happened. Okay, we're going to do a standing balance pose, and then we'll come back down onto the mat. So we're going to do tree. So keeping your feet hip width distance apart, begin to pull everything toward the midline. So imagining your muscles hugging your bones, everything is pulling toward the midline. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring all your weight toward the right side, bending that left knee, and begin to turn it out toward the side. Now check your hips here and make sure that they're level, because that'll help you with balance. So you can bring your heel to your opposite ankle, or you can bring your foot to your calf, or you can bring your foot all the way up to the top. Whatever version of tree you feel like trying today, that's the one you should do. So I will stay here, and you can bring your hands in front of your heart. If you're pushing your palms together, that can help your balance. But if balance is not an issue for you and you want to bring your arms out and overhead, please do that. Pick a spot across the room that's not moving to stare at to help with balance. And breathe. Big breath in. Big breath out. And maybe if balance is really not a challenge, you try to close your eyes. See how that does. And then when you're ready to be down on this side, bring your hands down, shake your legs out. And we will prepare for the other side. So let's try the other side. Bring your feet underneath your hips, lift and spread your toes, and then place them back down on the mat gently. Again, check your hips and begin to take that right foot out toward the side and place it wherever feels right for you on the right side, because each side will be different. And then maybe you grow your branches. Or maybe you're right here in front. That's good too. Notice if your breath is affected by trying to balance, or if the rhythm of your breath helps your balance. And when you're ready, you come out and shake everything down. All right. So we are going to come down to the mat, all the way down. Oh boy, bringing bottoms of your feet together. Coming into bound angle. So soles of your feet are together. Heels are as close in as you'd like them here. And then you can pull your legs down toward the floor. You can use your elbows to help them down. Sitting up nice and tall though. And when you're where you think you should be with that, you can begin to hinge forward from the hips, keeping that flat back. Breathing in and breathing out. And then sitting back up straight, let's take one leg out in front of you and leave the other one in toward your hips. And then move a little toward the side. We're going to come into a twist here. So your whatever leg is bent, I'm going to take the opposite leg and cross over and put it on the floor. Now you can do this with the bottom leg straight if you'd rather. So either way works. So we have a straight leg, just bring the other one to the outside of it. All right, and sitting up nice and tall here. Feel the length of your spine. And then take your opposite hand to the knee that's crossed over. Wrap it around that knee and begin to twist toward that side. Sitting up tall on your inhale, lengthening on your inhale, and then maybe twisting a little more on your exhale. For the Father loves the Son and shows him everything he is doing. And he will show him greater works than these, so that you will be amazed. Then on your exhale, we're going to come back to center. And let's switch sides. So unwind and either tuck your leg under and bring the other leg on top, or have your one foot straight and the knee comes around. And then on your next exhale, sit up nice and tall and begin to twist toward the other side, taking your hand behind you. Your elbow can come around that knee. Breathing in, breathing out. Find that rhythm of your breath. And then come back to center. Unwind your legs. Let's bring the knees into your chest and roll down toward the floor. And just hug your knees in. Keep your hands around your legs. And rock side to side. And what more shall I say? I do not have time to tell about Gideon, Barak, Samson, and Jephthah, about David and Samuel and the prophets, who through faith conquered kingdoms, administered justice, and gained what was promised. Hebrews 11. When you're ready, take your feet to the floor. And let's take your left ankle and cross it over your right knee. And then on your exhale, bring that right knee toward your chest. You can take your hands and thread them through your legs. Bring them around your shin or the back of your legs in a figure 4. One more breath here. Well, let's bring that right foot to the floor and uncross and change sides. Bringing your left knee toward your chest and threading your arms through. Breathing in, breathing out. And when you're ready, bring your foot down to the floor and unwind. Let's do knees back into the chest one more time. And take the feet up toward the ceiling, coming into a happy baby. So knees come out toward your armpits, your hands go around your feet. You come into this happy baby pose. Maybe you rock from side to side here. And then slowly bring your feet down. Hopefully you have a couple blocks nearby. If not, you can have a rolled up blanket. We're going to do a chest opener. So if you have blocks, you just want to put the tall block on the mat and the short block just in front of it. And then you're going to lay back about midway through your back. You'll want that first block to go, and then it'll support your head with the high block. So that would be one version of this chest opener. Now, if you don't have blocks, but you do have a blanket, take your blanket and roll it into a roll. And you're going to lay that on the mat. And then as you lay down, you can bring that blanket toward your small of your back and slowly lower down, hopefully with your head at the edge of the blanket. Again, opening your chest. In this version, your palms are facing upward. And you can bend your knees if that feels better to you, or you can have your legs flat. But either way, it's a good chest opener. And if it's comfortable, you can stay that way for relaxation. But I will give you the chance to move. So can you spend the next few moments thinking of an amazing thing that God has done in your life? and thanking him for his faithfulness to you. If you would like to move for your relaxation, then now would be a good time to take the props out, rearrange, get to where you would like to stay for the next few moments. Just get yourself comfortable. Maybe you put a blanket over you if you didn't do that already. During this quiet relaxation, bask in God's amazing presence. Feel his awesome power and trust that he's always with you. I will remember the deeds of the Lord. Yes, I will remember your miracles of long ago. I will consider all your works and meditate on all your mighty deeds. Psalm 77. Slowly begin to deepen your breath. Bring your attention back into this room, this space. Begin wiggling fingers and toes, making small movements to wake up your body. Roll wrists and ankles. When you're ready, bend your knees and bring your knees in toward your chest. Roll to one side. Just curl up there for a moment. using your hands to help you up and making as few movements as possible. Help yourself to come to a comfortable seat, keeping your eyes closed or your gaze soft. And when you're in your seat, bring your hands in front of your hearts, bow your heads as we pray. Heavenly Father, thank you for this time that we've had together with you. We know in our hearts, Lord, that you are wholly trustworthy. You prove it to us time and time again. We know it's the devil who puts thoughts in our heads that create fear. Help us to keep our eyes on your awesome power and never-ending love for us. Lord, we love you and ask that you guide us safely through the coming weeks and beyond. Keep reminding us that you are always with us to the very end of age. In Jesus' precious name we pray. Amen.